Hello friends, Jenkins Dota here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of DotaAlchemy.com, and this is going to be part of the How to Draft in Pubs video series, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Mario picks. So let's just get right into it. What are Marios in Dota? I know it sounds ridiculous, the name, it's obviously a Nintendo character, it sounds a little bit silly, but Mario heroes in Dota are basically these filler heroes that offer a little bit of everything, and as a result, they're not going to be rendered useless if the enemy team picks a counter to that hero, or if that hero has a bad game. So why do these heroes actually matter so much in a draft? And I really do think that they're probably the most important class of heroes to acknowledge in a draft. Okay, so as a majority of you guys already know, Mario is obviously a Nintendo character that has appeared in many games such as Super Smash Bros., Mario Party, Mario Kart, and obviously the Super Mario series. In all of these games, Mario is typically not an uninteresting character, yet he's not particularly interesting. He's kind of a neutral character. If you're playing Mario Kart with your friends and somebody selects Mario, you don't look at them funny because they picked a big, slow, and silly character like Wario, but you don't get angry with them because they pick some small, overpowered character like Toad because he's super fast and super small. Mario's kind of always right in the middle, and that goes for almost all of these games. For this reason, way back in, I think about 2014, an old teammate and I started using the term Mario Hero to describe heroes in Dota who fulfill a very similar purpose to Mario in these games. Mario heroes are the average heroes in Dota that you're never really upset if they're on your team in a pub, but they're in no way cheesy or overpowered. They're just good, and that's about it. Mario heroes are usually these jack-of-all-trades type heroes that offer a little bit of some of the functions that you need to be performed in a Dota game. You know, team fighting, split pushing, things like that. This sort of skill set makes these heroes extremely hard to counter and extremely easy to pick if you aren't sure what you or the enemy team is going to pick next. For example, Disruptor is a very typical Mario hero right now and for the past couple of years. How do you counter a Disruptor? No matter what, he's still going to be a decent lane support, he's still decent at ganking, he has a silence, he has lots of disables, he has good damage, and once again, he's an amazing lane support. Is he overpowered? No, he's sitting at about a 50% win rate right now, but that doesn't stop him from getting picked in almost every single competitive game right now, at least in the past couple of weeks. In competitive drafting, the first few picks in a draft are typically reserved for flex picks, Marios, and overpowered heroes, whereas the last few picks are usually going to be reserved for the trump picks and the heroes that kind of tie an entire draft together where you look at them and you're like, oh, I see what they're trying to do here. Mario heroes are incredibly useful for gauging what the enemy team is looking to do before committing to a draft, especially if they are also flex picks. You know, if they can do both, they're amazing. For instance, picking a Disruptor, Tiny, or Lion reveals almost nothing about your draft to the enemy team, and it doesn't lock you into any specific playstyle because all of these heroes are Marios, and they can do fine in any style of draft, whether it be lane domination, split pushing, team fighting, or anything else. Did they pick a push strat? Well, fight them with your Disruptor ulti. Did they pick a split push draft? Well, then glimpse them back and gank them. Did they pick to win the lanes? Well, Disruptor offers great damage and gank for the laning phase. No matter what, you can tailor your next picks to countering their specific draft or to buffing your draft without having to feel worried that you've backed yourself into a corner in your first few picks because they're Mario heroes. In other words, Mario heroes are fundamentally the base that holds together any draft in Dota 2. In fact, some drafters only pick Marios and just try to outskill their opponents with regular heroes. Okay, so some classic Marios for each of the roles are, for 5 role, Lion, as I mentioned earlier, is a great Mario pick because he offers great damage, some of the best lockdown, if not the best in Dota. He's a great ganker, he's a decent laner, he's a decent initiator. No matter what happens in the game, the amount of disable that Lion offers is always going to be amazing, no matter how much he's feeding. Disruptor is another really great support 5 role that's also Mario. As I mentioned before, he's similar to Lion. He offers a huge amount of lockdown, so the best ganking in Dota and amazing laning capabilities. For 4 roles, Sand King is arguably the best stunner in Dota 2 right now because of the Burrow Strike, which is super long duration level 1, and as a result, no matter what, he's going to be useful. He offers great ganking, he offers great team fighting, he offers great laning, great split pushing if you can't team fight. Sand King can basically do whatever is necessary to win the game, no matter what play style you want to play. Night Stalker is another great Mario, and the reason for this is because, number one, he has an amazing silence, he's a great ganker, he's a great roamer, but really the most important part about this hero is that if you do nothing in the game on Night Stalker, you'll still provide that amazing, amazing vision that's arguably the best vision in all of Dota 2. So he's a really good Mario here. You can throw him into any draft, and you're going to be pretty happy that you have a Night Stalker. For 3 roles, Sand King again, this is an amazing offlaner. He functions great as an offlaner for the same reasons that he functions great as a 4-role Mario. Tiny, similar to Sand King, he offers all of the utilities that you want in an offlaner, and he's one of the best laners in Dota right now. Even if he falls behind, his Avalanche Toss combo can still be used to change a fight simply by throwing the enemy team out of position. There's nothing that anybody can do to stop that capability. For 2 roles, that is mid heroes, Queen of Pain is an amazing Mario hero that people always pick if they don't know what's going to be picked after for the mid lane. Basically, Queen of Pain will never feed the mid lane. She can carry quite well. She's an extremely good laner. She's not truly countered by any heroes really that well. The only downside is that she only really offers damage and ganking into the late game, but Queen of Pain is so damn hard to shut down in the laning phase because of her blink and her laning capabilities with the dagger. So she's basically always going to have a good game, even if hard countered. Puck also very, very similar role. This has been a very, versatile hero, a Mario hero forever. Puck is very similar to Queen of Pain. Puck is a hero that isn't countered by much. No matter what, Puck can have a great fallback on split pushing, great ganking, and amazing team fighting, even if Puck doesn't get a lot of farm herself. For 1 roles, that is carries, Sven is an amazing Mario hero, one of the most obvious Mario heroes because he has a stun. It's an AoE stun. It's one of the best stuns in the game. He's a good laner. He's great scaling into the late game with his God Strength. He can be aggressive, and he can deal with aggression really well if he's getting tri-laned against because he has that stun. But he can also farm very quickly if he's not dealt with by a tri-lane. So it's very, very hard to stop Sven from being useful in a game no matter what you do to him. So it's one of those heroes. Jug, similar to Sven, is amazing at laning, has huge kill potential at all points in the game. Healing Ward is never really useless. Omni Slash and Spin are such easy damage abilities to use that you're basically guaranteed to contribute to the game. Even if you lose your lane, you can go and be effective with these abilities afterwards. So there's not much of a point in countering the hero in the first place. Okay, so why does that actually matter in pubs? Mario heroes are, without a doubt, the absolute best heroes to first pick in pubs. Nobody likes to first pick, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes your team is willing to lose all 600 of your starting gold just so that they can last pick something stupid like a Shadow Shaman. How do you deal with this? Well, you don't feed down mid, you don't argue with your team. If you feel like playing a Mario hero and your team looks like they're fighting over roles or for whatever reason they're not picking, somebody's AFK, then you could pick a Mario hero. Select your lane and be comfortable with the fact that you'll have a generally alright game rather than having to first or second pick a hero that could possibly get countered. Not only are Marios great for when your team refuses to pick, but if you're playing on the team that has the unfortunate issue of having to pick your hero before you see exactly what you're going to be up against in terms of laning and in terms of the game, then you can pick a Mario hero and be comfortable that you'll have an okay game no matter what, even if the enemy team decides to hard counter you in lane or not. For example, personally, if I'm being forced to pick an offlaner before I see the enemy carry, I may pick Tiny or Sand King because both of these heroes will do relatively well against almost any lane, and even if they don't do well in lane, they still offer enough utility in the game to be useful regardless. If I pick a Broodmother though, in this scenario, they're going to counter me with Gyro or Sven, and I'm in for an extremely, extremely rough game. That's because Tiny and Sand King are Mario heroes, and Broodmother is not.